Welcome to your daily dose of theological German. We are on installment number 8 of this book here, The Kingdom of God and Christendom. This view or idea adopts Ezekiel. And so now you got a problem here because that doesn't make a lot of sense. Usually it's a person who adopts an opinion, an idea, or a view, not the other way around. What's going on here? Well, a classic German move here by Schweitzer is that the object is actually coming first. Your verb then is in second position where it belongs, and then your subject immediately follows the verb. And so that's kind of interesting. How do we know this is the object? Well, unfortunately, you can't get it from this, which you would normally like to hope, because diese could be accusative or nominative in the case of this noun because it's a feminine noun, and so the morphology doesn't help you. You literally have to just figure it out from context. But if you ever feel like you're speaking like Yoda, chances are you just need to switch the things around. So in any case, Ezekiel holds, takes, adopts the opinion, the view, the idea in a vision, in a running vision, going vision of the imminent capture of Jerusalem. So I want to take a quick look at this word here, vertritt. This is an irregular verb, so you have to change the vowel in order to find the infinitive form to look up in your dictionary. And I want to just use this as another example of how to use your dictionary, because sometimes that's all you have to go on and you want to make sure you get the right translation. And so that does require, you can't just lift a word off the page, you got to kind of think about it and see what's going on. Also, how to find words in the dictionary. When you look up vertreten in Cassels, which is the one I always use on this channel, you notice that this is actually an entry for an adjective, vertretbar, and vertreten is then embedded and kind of consolidated within it. I don't know why Cassels does that, but he does on occasion do that. And in any case, that's just important to keep in mind, because if you're not finding a word in your dictionary, there's a couple possibilities. One, it may not be listed, in which case you'll have to somehow figure it out from context, or maybe it's a compound word and you can try to look up the parts or whatever you have to do. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes you're just looking up the wrong word. Perhaps it was an irregular verb and you shifted it to an E in this case, but maybe it should have been an A. And so you might want to go try looking up a slightly different spelling and see if you can find it there. But oftentimes, just be sure you're scanning the entries around near the place where the word should be in the dictionary, and especially if you see an adjective or something that is similar in form and looks like it could be related, because you might find it there. So just keep that in mind. And then the other thing to look at here is that you have such a wide range of meaning for this word, and how are you going to pick the right one? And anytime you have a wide range of meaning, lots of different translations that seem to mean vastly different things with no clear connection, you're usually then dealing with a word that is kind of bland in terms of the word itself and means different things and just kind of works with a variety of different contexts and objects to accomplish very different meanings. And so really it's the objects and the contexts that matter the most. So here you'll see that you can have a particular object for this verb, and this little dash down here just tells you put the verb there and you'll have this full phrase. This object, eine Ansicht, is going to mean something like a view, and in that case the verb means something like to hold or take or adopt that view, or viewpoint you might say, perspective, something like that. And so that's the one you're going to want for this sentence, because this word up here, which I think I translated something like view or opinion or idea, anschauen, is from the verb anschauen, and that means to look at, and so this is a synonym of Ansicht. And so in other words, you're dealing with a very similar context, right? And so your dictionary isn't going to tell you every object that would make you want to translate it, hold or take or adopt, but it gives you a basic idea, and then you realize, okay, I've got a synonym or a similar context, and that seems to make the most sense here, and so then that's the one you use. The only other thing I want to talk about for this sentence is just working through quickly this, what should we call it? April Wilson calls these overloaded adjective constructions, which I find strange and unhelpful. It's really just a heavily modified noun. But let's pop it up here so it's a little easier to see what we're doing. So I'm referring to this kind of whole phrase here, which is a little bit confusing when you try to just read through it and translate it kind of in the order that the words present themselves, because what you have here is an article, and then you're lost looking for a noun that goes with it, and you just feel like anytime you see that kind of thing, either an adjective or a definite article or an indefinite article right next to a preposition like this, something's up and you kind of have to figure it out. And it's usually one of these kinds of constructions. So what you do is first you just ignore all the stuff in the middle and try to find the noun that goes with that article. And so you get down here and you discover that this is the noun which goes with that article. And well, how did you know that? How come it couldn't be this noun? This is the capture. Let's see. In a capture of the imminent. No, that doesn't work. So you know you're actually going to go down here. It's in a vision. And so once you've got that, you can start to see how your sentence is going to flow, right? This viewpoint, Ezekiel adopts this viewpoint or takes this position in a vision. Okay, in a vision. Well, now the rest of this is just going to modify this. Now, you might want to say here, oh, in a vision of the imminent capture of Jerusalem. And that would be okay, but what are you going to do with this kind of word here? This is technically an adjective. It's a present adjective. It's being used to modify vision. And it's very important that you catch here that this adjective is actually the verb which governs this preposition up here. And so it's not a vision of the imminent capture of Jerusalem. It's a vision going on the imminent capture of Jerusalem. And so somehow you have to make sense of that. And so what you'll find if you look in the dictionary entries for gehen, which is such a bland and wide-ranging verb in German, but when it's used with the preposition auf, it can mean something like pointing to. And so that might be how you want to translate this, that basically Ezekiel takes this viewpoint in a vision pointing to the imminent capture of Jerusalem. So, as always, I hope you found that helpful, and please do like and subscribe and all that good stuff. See you next time.